Go with part number 2. Yeah. What is a glimpse? Sweetheart, did you have any glimpse? Or Tony, Guri, what would you say about glimpses?
Well, it's just an idea, making something important and calling it a glimpse. I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to judging here, I never really actually looked up to people or down to people. I was working with drug addicts. I never saw any difference between somebody who was rich or somebody living on the street. It was already just simply what it was. I never understand it any, getting better or being better, or that there could be people who are better than other so-called people. So in that way, but yeah, of course, has there been experiences, while doing drugs? And yes, and while doing meditations and kriyas, yes, but here all those things are not more or less special than sitting here right now or going to the toilet. So for me, it's all the same. You can call it a glimpse, you can call it an experience. The attaching to certain types of experiences or to make them special is just simply what seems to be happening. But um, so yeah, I can tell a story, and people can say, well, that's a glimpse and that's a glimpse, but for me, it's the same. It's
Mm.
the, there has to been profound experiences, yes, but yeah, not more or less than going to the toilet.
Yeah.
Did you just
Mm.
lose your connection? Did you just disconnect?
The
Tony?
Zoom link was gone. Tony, the time was up with the Zoom link.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought I'd lost my connection. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, Patricia, did you like the Bajan singing? Rosa, you were talking about kirtans. What's the difference between a kirtan and a Bajan?
What?
Were you
Sorry.
talking about you were talking about curtains. Were you?
No.
No.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about the singing Bajans. You know the
Hmm.
you know
Nisargadatta
what a
was doing
Bajan.
Bajans.
You know what
Nisargadatta.
Bajan? Yeah, yeah. Well, I was going to say that Amma's Bajans are really, really, really nice to listen to. And I was going to ask Patricia if, when she was there, they would have been singing Bajans, and did she like them?
But Patricia is not here, sweetheart.
Is she gone?
And
She
she
fall
gone,
away.
but maybe she will connect again. Maybe it's not that easy,
Oh
you know.
no, she's gone. Oh
Well,
dear.
Yeah, she fall away.
there she is. There she is. There
There
she
she
is.
is.
You can ask
Oh,
her.
she's back. Patricia, can you hear me, Patricia? Anyway,
Right, can
she's
you hear me now?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Patricia,
Yes.
did you like the Bajans, the Bajans singing when you went to Amma?
Well, we couldn't wait for that, unfortunately. We had to leave.
Oh, because it's really beautiful. It really, those kind of rhythmical Bajans.
Yes.
Uh, Beautiful. I mean, it's a pity you didn't, because that goes on for quite a long time while it
Yeah.
did when I.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to leave.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way
Yeah,
cookie crumbles.
exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know
My
what's
chocolate
happening with
cake
the
was very
connection
crumbly.
tonight. It's just mad. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah, when I guess um yeah, it's interesting. When it's about something, there are of course also glimpses, which means a lot. Yeah, of course, naturally so. What else?
Mm.
Nothing wrong with this. Beautiful.
It
Yeah,
seems to
Yeah.
be signposters, telling you that you are close.
yeah.
What was
That,
that?
well, signpost. At least it's like like a sign that you are close to getting free of the whole party.
In a
So
way, it's this ever making sense of everything. No matter what happens, it's of course happening to me. It makes sense. Oh, this is good and this is bad and this is because and blah blah. This never ending story. In a way, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That's why I always say enjoy the show if you can. And
I had one the other day when I was sitting on the toilet and I was looking to the toilet paper and I thought, oh my God, this is really it. This is the moment. It was.
Who is having the glimpse?
Gio, sweetheart, where are you?
My question is, who is the one that is having the glimpse?
Oh, no one. I mean, oh,
Exactly,
you.
no
You're
one.
having the glimpse. You.
No.
Who else? Gio. What else? Just, no one's separated having the glimpse. There's just a story going on and saying, well, this is a glimpse and that is not a glimpse, and that glimpse is because of this and this and that, and now I'm so close. Yeah, so
That's what I mean. I mean, if there is no one here, who is the one who is going to have the glimpse?
well, there can be still glimpses. This is not. Sorry, Tony wants to say something. Tony, go ahead, because I see your lips moving, but we don't hear you.
No, sorry, I was muted. I'm saying you are having a glimpse because there is only you.
I said it.
You are.
So we can say this, I mean, there's no one separated having a glimpse, so to say.
But wait a second. You are having a glimpse, you said. But if I am not here and nobody is here, the one who is having the glimpse is always awake. It is always seeing. It is never unaware.
I disagree
so how
with you,
can,
Giovanni.
What
No, you
would
are
be,
here.
So what would be the glimpse of something that is true, or a glimpse of an insight, if the one who is having the glimpse is always awake, is the one that is always aware?
Yeah, but you are here,
but that's
right?
just a story. That's just a story, Gio.
Yeah.
But
Glimpse
you
is
are
just
here.
a story.
I don't understand this. Why do you think you're not here? What?
Tony, look, let us suppose, just for the sake of the conversation, that there is an awareness, okay? A background awareness, just for the sake of the conversation. Wait,
I would agree.
Wait.
I would agree there is.
If there is only this background, okay, what is the sense of saying that this background is having a glimpse?
Because why are you saying there is only this awareness? There is awareness and there is also experience.
Oh no!
You are having experiences. You could say that's also awareness, but in form, as form, right? The movie screen and the movie, right? So the background is the screen and the movie is this changing experiences. So they're both there, aren't they?
Yes, but the changing experiences are not aware. They don't feel anything. They are nothing.
No, they don't, because they're objects. Of course, because objects aren't conscious.
So how can
objects?
So that's why I ask, who is having the glimpse? It's the screen. No one.
No one separated is having any glimpse.
Well, how do you know about the experience? If in that case, how do you know about the experience? How do you know?
Oh, you don't.
But you're talking about an experience, therefore you must know of it. It must be. It's apparent to you. It appears
that's already
to you.
The experience. So there's just the experience. So talking about the experience is the experience itself, nothing else, and not even nothing else.
Yes, you could say there's no separation.
And at the same time, there is an experience.
Yeah, there's no separation between the observer is the observed. So there's no separation. But but the mind makes that separation, doesn't it? Is it something to be concerned about? That's the question, you see. Is it something to be actually concerned about?
you know, it's the same with if this is really happening or not really happening. You know, there's no one concerned if he gets money paid, if it's real money or not real money, or you know, or if it's really happening or not really happening, or if there is separation or no separation. All those things are funny in Zoom meetings, but when it comes to just daily life, you know, no one is saying, well, this is, I don't know if this really is happening, so you don't have to give me my wage for working, and nothing is happening. I never worked. It's, no.
But what's the Giovanni? What's the drive behind that question? What is the, what is the concern about it?
The drive behind the question is that when you talk, when you, I mean you, when we talk about a glimpse, we mean that we have seen for a short time something that is more true than the rest of the scene of what happened before. What is a glimpse? A glimpse of what? Of something that is considered more profound, more insightful, or more undivided. So the natural question is, who is having this glimpse? If it is the separate entity, which is just a thought is having a glimpse. I mean, what's the meaning of that?
Well, first of all, someone would have to define what this glimpse is. But if I was just take something more ordinary, like, I'm looking at a tree, I'm glimpsing at a tree.
Oh, no, I mean...
Who is glimpsing? I am. Simple. I am. End of story.
Oh, well, then I misunderstood the meaning of the word glimpse. For me, glimpse is a short insight.
Yes, I don't think anyone has properly defined it, because Patricia was talking about a glimpse that she had, and she put it in a particular way. But you would have to define for us what you mean by a glimpse.
Well,
I thought that glimpse was something that someone or something perceived as more truth or more genuine than was before.
But like I said before, you joined, Tony. So by using drugs and doing meditation and kriyas, certain things may happen, and that maybe can call the glimpse or an insight. Until it doesn't. There's just what is being seen as a glimpse, or what is being called a glimpse, or what is defined as a glimpse is just innocently arising as a story that this is a glimpse, and something else is not a glimpse, but it's still just this. So
that's what I mean.
A glimpse, it's no one knows what a glimpse is more than the defining of a certain so-called experience and naming that a glimpse. And that itself, the labeling of a certain situation, it's unvalidatable. If it is a glimpse, or there's no one besides the so-called experience knowing if it's actually a glimpse or just a brainwave or a fart or whatever. There's just simply no way to it. And you can make a whole story out of glimpses and experiences, but it's still just this. Calling this a glimpse and that situation or whatever, it's just this. There's just no way around it until it doesn't. Like I said, it's in a way it's all the same. Going to the toilet, activity, playing football, talking in Zoom meetings, you can call it a glimpse or not, whatever, you can call it an experience.
Giovanni, Gio, do you agree with Sanderlinchen when he says, in a way, it's all a glimpse, going to the toilet, or having the idea that you're now...
I'm not saying it's all a glimpse, sweetheart, but I mean calling something a certain experience a glimpse, and finding, oh, this was a glimpse, oh shit, it was so profound, this meditation, oh, this drugs, it was so profound, I saw something. It's still just this, thinking that you made it through the tunnel to the rabbit hole and you come outside on the other side. It's just still this, and calling that situation a glimpse or not, it's all just simply what seems to be happening. And I think, Tony, you mentioned this before, everyone can only speak from his own so-called experience, which in my experience there is not. but it doesn't matter. If people seem to experience a glimpse, then that's just simply what seems to be happening, or not. I'm
Can I
fine
just
with
say
people
something?
having
Can I,
opinions.
Sander, can I just say something here? Because I agree with everything you said. Absolutely no disagreement at all. But I would never say what you're saying to someone who
I know.
identified as a seeker. I would never say that.
That's
I would speak to the seeker as if they identified as a person who was looking
beautiful.
for some kind of truth or reality. I wouldn't try and
Beautiful.
talk them out of the fact that they thought they were a separate self, because there's no point.
No, I know. We talked about this, Tony, and that's, that's different, and I like it because, like you told me, when somebody is feeling separate, we talked about this, Tony and me. When someone is feeling separate, it's easy to address him as a separate someone, although there's no separation. There's not separated. So here, this is just slightly playing differently. This is not saying that this is better or something is worse. I'm completely fine with whatever seems to be happening. Addressing someone as a separated identity, having a life, or not addressing someone in that way. That's just simply how it plays. So, beautiful. Yes, Tony, go ahead.
Yeah. So my dialogue with someone wouldn't be like, as I said, wouldn't be like that at all, because there's no point in telling someone who thinks that they're identifies as a separate self, as a person. There's no point in telling them, no, you're not really that. There's no
It's not
separate
helpful.
self. It's not helpful. Exactly. I
No,
would say
I
to
know.
them, I would say something different. I would say to them, okay, I'm going to give you a mantra, and I'm going to teach you how to use that mantra to experience stillness of mind, so that then you can have the direct experience of non-dual awareness. That's how my conversation would go. It wouldn't be,
Yes.
although I agree with everything you're saying, that wouldn't be the conversation I'm having with a seeker.
I know, and this is also the difference is that this is also not wanting to help. There is no intention to help where there seems to be an intention for Tony to help and to guide. There is none of that happening here, so to say. So I'm totally agreeing that when there's a conversation, this is not helpful. When there's the suggestion that there is no separation, this is not going to end suffering by, because it's not going to work. At the same time, it's also not meant to work. It's just,
On the other hand, I wouldn't say what I just said if I didn't think it was going to work. That's the other side of it, right?
Yeah, and this beautiful. I like it.
Yeah, and this is Tony, and this is simply like innocence at play. Like
it's not for the seeker. It isn't.
No. There is someone, you call him a seeker, and there is Tony, you call him a teacher, and there is simply no. This is just like the perfection how it plays.
Well, I don't know if it's helpful to call it. Well, I don't.
No,
Rosa, it's not helpful to call it perfection either.
It's not about
That's
helpful.
just some idea you have that this is perfection, but it doesn't
mean
anything.
No. It just okay. It's just simply how the cookie crumbles. Like that, we label simply. You label simply what you say. Like it's not helpful for the seeker, and Sander labels it. Well, here is no intention to help, or it's just a label, and it means nothing. I simply wanted to point out that this is complete nonsense already. The idea that
I accept everything that Sander is saying. I don't disagree with anything he says at all. I'm just saying that it's not helpful for someone who identifies as a seeker and who doesn't go around saying everything is a perfection.
No.
You have to have a different approach. Huh?
I see
Rosa, match point already. Match point.
No. I see it already like totally hopeless already because you came
Who's
up
the
with
guy?
no.
Who's the guy in the grey? Who's the guy in the grey? He keeps breaking through. I think no, it doesn't matter.
Kai.
Anyway,
Kai?
I
Or
think
what
he's
do you
listening
mean?
out of a speaker, and he keeps
Yeah, Kai, maybe you
the
can
images.
mute. Maybe you can mute so that it's not. Yeah, okay. If you want to say something, of course you're on mute and Bumao. I'm happy that you're here, Kai. Yeah, what I wanted to say
Go
is
on, Racer. Yeah, go on.
that maybe I can find the words later on. For me, this is just like blah
Okay.
blah, complete nonsense already. There is no help already. It's just like the game, like the illusion of needing help and being helped. And
Oh yeah,
it's
but that's not
so,
helpful either, Rosa. And I would
yeah,
never say
of
it's blah
course.
blah.
As I
I don't
said,
think anything is blah blah blah.
but
I mean, things
absolute.
have meaning. We say things and they have meaning. It's
You
not
know
blah
what?
blah blah.
Here it comes. What maybe I also want to share,
Okay.
like, what here is a drive, an energy, which is always kind of also saying enjoy and follow your highest excitement, in the sense of be the asshole you are already. Full on, be yourself. There is no other way. There is no other fucking way of being yourself. And calling yourself a teacher, a helper, is bullshit. Sorry.
Rosa, I'm not questioning or challenging your experience. That's
No,
not what this
no.
is about. That's not what this is about. I'm simply talking about, for someone who might be watching this Zoom meeting, who identifies as a seeker, this kind of talk isn't helpful. That's quite different to me saying, yeah, look, that's your experience. That's fine. I mean, why would I dispute that? I mean, no reason, right?
Tony, I hear what you're saying. And this is just coming out for no reason. This must not make any
It's always
sense.
just coming out. It's
Yeah,
always
no,
just coming
it's
out.
it's already without any intention and without any sense, sweetheart. Where to go?
Yeah.
Where not to go? So, okay. Thanks
I
for sharing.
think that Tony is talking about methods of teaching. That's the name of his subject right now. How shall we teach? But is that what we are talking about? How shall we teach? How shall we help others? I understand that it's part of the game. Why not? But that would be the name of the subject.
Well,
Methods
that's because
of
I chose to make it the subject.
Yeah, no problem.
In that moment, yes, but you see, what I've just said, Giovanni, is an answer to the questions that you asked. So it is very much part of the same subject. Because here you are trying to find an answer with your intellect about who is having the glimpse, who is not having the glimpse.
No,
And
I'm not trying to find the answer at all.
No, but I mean, you're curious.
My questions are not intended for an answer. My questions are intended to suggest something, but not waiting for an answer.
Yeah, this is beautiful, Gio, that you're saying this, because it's interesting. Because imagine now a situation, there is someone who is asking questions. What is this? Tell me, I have the impression you know what this life is about. I am even not able to hear a question. It's crazy. Like now that you're for me, the question is already the answer, you know? That I am simply not seeing someone who wants to know something, even though it appears as such. And this is in a way what I wanted to say, that it's done already. It's done already. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Giovanni, is that what you feel too?
Yes. Because you see, Tony, there is no time. There is no otherness. Where are we? We are here now. So why would we discussing people who we want to teach? Who are we going to teach? I mean, here we are already in a timeless present, which is unexplainable, incomprehensible. What else? I mean, If you
Well,
want to,
yes,
if you
but
go back
there's
and discuss how shall we teach to have the glimpse of timelessness, it's a different question, a different subject.
well, I thought that was the subject.
Yeah, well, to me, the subject is always here and now, right?
Well, you can't be anywhere else but here and now. I mean, where else could you be? But
That's
that's
the
not going to
answer.
help. But that's not going to help.
Help? What do you mean? You just help it.
Well, I would say now
I'm
Just help it
assuming.
everyone.
Okay, Giovanni, I'm not necessarily talking about you, but in general terms, there are people who perceive or think that they need help. Of that, there is no doubt.
Okay, but that's a different subject, right? Then we have to discuss
Everything we talk about is a
skillful
different
means.
subject.
Yeah, skillful means to teach. There are
and
hundreds
here,
or
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
thousands of.
maybe we can say that highly probably Tony Daniels, here people who really like wants to get something out of this, they are highly probably having zero interest of watching this. Because
Possibly.
it's complete nonsense. Total nonsense.
Yeah, with Emerson. Emerson, maybe probably with Emerson or whatever, you know, or some other teacher.
Zander, what did you say?
Well, I say, you know, those you know, the so-called people Tony is talking about are probably not here.
Exactly.
Oh,
There's-
I'm not talking about Emerson. There is no way he's waking somebody up by talking to them for 1
Oh.
hour. I can tell you that. Absolutely not.
Also
He's making
not,
them feel good. He's making them feel good.
well, it's therapy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
therapy. You know, therapists have been doing this for decades, putting people in a position where they make them open up and they have this kind of cathartic moment and they release all of these past memories and they have this. I mean, this is nothing new. Emerson's not the first one who's been doing this. Therapists have been doing this for years. But it's nothing to do with waking up. I mean, depends how you define waking up.
Tony Daniels,
Whatever.
I'm totally getting what you're saying, sweetheart. And what would you say this is here about? Those meetings, those chats we are having. For example,
it's
right
all blah
now.
blah blah blah. It's
Beautiful.
all blah blah.
Beautiful. And there is no one who really is kind of seeking something, wanting to get something out of this. No one is going.
Oh, I'm not trying to get anything from this at all.
In a way, Gareth, that's why, Gareth, sweetheart, I'm not buying the story you're telling me over and over again, that there is still something missing. I see you're completely done. Otherwise, this would be really, you simply could not be here. Impossible. That's why always when you come up with those beautiful stories, I'm just kind of cracking up. You know? I love it. By the way,
Hey,
do you
Rosa,
want to share?
Sorry,
share?
just
Again?
before Gareth comes in, could you say, Rosa? Just so that I'm clear here. I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm obviously enjoying this. I'm not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning for nothing, right? So this is very enjoyable for me. But I'm not looking to get something out of it. It's just very enjoyable.
Exactly. The same here. I'm just enjoying spending my time here with you, sweethearts, for no reason. I don't know why. And by the way, if you want to go into a third part, feel free to reconnect again. Yeah.
How long have we got?
Let's see, but it simply continues. Yeah, I think, Giovanni, in a way, we were kind of pointing out now that this is here simply a blah blah.
Yeah.
Giovanni, it all depends where you're coming from, doesn't it? It all depends what your, path has been, what your background has been. It was very specific for me, and
But now
that's what I know. That's what I know. You see.
Sometimes when I speak, people misunderstand me because they interpret what I'm saying as something personal, and sometimes I sound a bit personal, but that's not what I mean. So
You
yes,
sound beautiful.
every time I'm in a meeting like this, I'm not exactly only to have fun. I sort of have an intention or an intent to be present. Now, we may discuss what is to be present. There are infinite ways of using words because it is undefinable. But stop, Rosa, stop laughing.
No, it's beautiful,
That's
sweetheart.
exactly, yeah.
Well, it's so hard to be present, my friend. How can you do such a thing?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, but you see that you are using words and pointing something that is very meaningful. If you say this is all bullshit, it can be very meaningful
But Giovanni, here,
because it brings me to a place without judgment and without time.
Giovanni, this place without judgment and without time, you have already in deep, deep sleep. It's the same.
Yeah.
This is here the same like sleeping in my bed. And it's really, this is the whole time, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But the other thing I would say, Giovanni, is it is all personal.
It depends what you mean by person, right?
No, everything that's said here is personal.
I don't get that because I don't see a
I don't know how
person.
you can talk impersonally. How can you talk impersonally?
Because all the words that we are saying are not coming from a center, because there is no such center. There is no such person.
No,
so
there's
how
no
can
such
we
person,
be
but it's
personal?
but it's an intellectual process, even though there's no such
Oh,
person.
that makes more sense, an intellectual process, yes. But not a person, because this intellectual process was different yesterday, and the person is imagined to be the same as yesterday, and there is no such thing as the same as yesterday for to define a person.
I think it's quite legitimate to talk about a person in the same way that you might talk about a photo album. And yesterday you were looking at certain photographs in the album, and tomorrow you're looking at different photographs in the album, but you still agree that it's an album.
I'm not sure I get it, but it makes sense.
Let me add something to this topic with the position. Like Tony, like you said, there is this position. Here it's like always changing. That's why sometimes I say I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Because there is no fixed position somewhere where I am. It's impossible. And you can say this is in disorder. Maybe this body is not functioning properly. But there is no such a thing that it's a position.
Yes, that's absolutely. I agree with that absolutely. Yeah.
So what would be a person then, without a fixed position?
Oh, there is just personing. There's not a person, but there is manifestation of person in terms of actions, thoughts, feelings. But they're just like little snapshots from one moment to the next. But of course, there is no such thing as a complete entity that you would call a person. You cannot find it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
it's unfindable. Yet it's all there is. I mean, but it's also a matter of words. Basically, Tony is saying the same. But because of another word, this can be misunderstood in 1,000 ways, and it's impossible to to avoid misunderstanding, because there's no way, to it's heard as it's heard, but there's no fixed you, there's no fixed you hearing this, able to
Yeah, and
all
as
together.
Rosa says, it's always changing, just continually changing. There isn't a position, because as soon as there is a position, it's immediately replaced by what seems to be another position. So there is never whatever. Oh, what's that phrase you like? Landing point. Is that landing point? There is a landing point, and then there's another landing point, and then
And at the same time, it's completely unchanging.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I would say it's changing and it's not changing.
Yeah. This is always this paradox. That's why I love to, maybe saying now this, and in 2 minutes, the complete opposite. Because it's really like, yeah, it's everything.
Yes, when we regard everything, we see unchanging, because it's already everything. What would change? But when we focus down to something specific regarding things, events, then there seems to be changes.
Kai, sweetheart. Kai, my dear, what's up there? Cool that you're here.
You have to unmute yourself, maybe, Kai.
Yeah, you are muted. It's not that easy for him. Okay, and no props, sweetheart, if it's okay, he is typing something in. Okay, Kai, but it's cool to see you. Gareth, did you listen to what we were blubbering? Is there something coming up while listening to this?
Nothing's coming up. I was interested to hear what Patricia said about her glimpse. I missed all that, so I have to have the replay again. No, I'm a little bit disappointed still that there's nothing to get out of this. It appears to be nothing to get.
And at the same time, there's many things to get. It's just here it becomes tricky. Garrett.
Even more tricky.
This is just flipping coins that there's nothing to get. Who knows that there's nothing to get?
I thought if I heard just the bullet points, I would get it. It's a bit more complicated than that.
It's the same with saying nothing is happening.
It's making it more complicated that is the problem. I mean, in fact, it's very simple.
This is funny for when the birthday parties at the family are getting boring, then you can say there's nothing to get, you guys. I'm not here, and everyone will laugh. There's nothing more to it.
I haven't started the laughing part yet. I'm waiting for that yet to happen.
Gareth, what do you think you need to hear so that you can get it or get a glimpse? What do you need to hear?